Is it time to accept that the UFC just can't make the fights like they used to before? With Conor McGregor's return to being delayed time and time again, Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall doesn't even look like this is anywhere close to even happening, and now Ilia Islam, the most likely out of all the super fights, just fell through, guys, officially. Islam, you know, it looks like that Ilia Topuria and Islam, I think, are just going to miss each other. I don't even know if they're ever going to fight, to be honest. But I gotta say, guys, I am very upset. I have done tons of videos on this channel talking about the potential fight between Islam and Ilia. I think all of us were hoping for this. I mean, honestly, this really was a roller coaster. And even though JDM won on Saturday, I was still feeling hopeful, guys, because look, International Fight Week's right here. Why not Islam just do one more fight at lightweight against Ilia Topuria? Because it is a super fight. It's a big fight. Yes, I understand there is a risk aspect to the legacy, because I know, yes, it is true. People are going to say Ilia Topuria might not have performed his best because he moved up in weight. And to be honest, that is a legitimate criticism about the fight, right? That is something that Ilia Topuria would be working against. But still, guys, I thought maybe the money or something, we could potentially save this fight, right? I figured the UFC would want this fight. But guys, the UFC lately has, I hate to say it, guys, because I'm not the type of person that's just going to hate on here, guys, you know, just because I know it's popular. I know people all the time on YouTube and everywhere over hate on the UFC. This is not me. This is genuinely me just observing. I hate even saying this, guys, but it just, to me, it just seems like the UFC is making just fast fights. Whatever the easiest fight is for that date, that's what they're doing. Like, seriously, I think this fight falling through, it's a big sign of, I think, where the UFC has been going lately. And I think this gives me even less faith that we're going to see Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, guys. That's not me hating on the fight. Oliveira and Ilia Topuria is a good fight, and that's it on its own. But I wanted to see Islam Ilia. That would have been the big fight, and that was clearly the #1 fight to make. And it really just stings, man. It really does sting very bad, because we were super close. If Bilal wins, potentially we're talking about Ilia Islam. But yeah, like, I miss the days where Dana White would be fucking furious at these press conferences when the fights wouldn't happen. But it just seems like if a fight doesn't happen, it's whatever. I mean, you know what? We're going to try to make the fight, and if it doesn't, well, our ESPN deal means that we get paid the same no matter what, so who cares? And I hope with this new rights deal, there's some sort of, you know, incentivization for the UFC to actually make these fights, because they've gotten, I feel like, a lot lazier with ESPN, because now they're, you know, guaranteed a lot of money. Because if they keep doing what they're doing, guys, I'm not saying they're going to fail, but they're definitely going to plateau. I mean, they had a huge jump these past few years. It's definitely going to start to plateau a little bit if this is the quality we're going to get for the next few years. But let's look at what Dana White had to say, guys, because yeah, these fights, look, as a fan myself, I'm excited for them, but it's not something that is going to be huge. It doesn't really add on to the UFC. This is all just, they're good fights, and I'm going to watch, I'm going to cover them, but not what I'm looking for.
Current lightweight champion Islam Makhachev is going to move up to the welterweight division to face Jack Della Maddalena.
Yes, guys, and I want to say real quick, I just wanted to see this fight. Ilia Islam, that was the fight I wanted to see, #1, and then I would have loved to see it go up to welterweight. It just sucks because I feel like we could have saw both fights, right? Like, I mean, why not Islam fight in a month and a half, and then he could still fight at the end of the year, Jack Della Maddalena. That doesn't change anything.
UFC 317 International Fight Week, June 28th, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You all know Ilia Topuria, undefeated, 16-0, and he will face former lightweight champion and #2 ranked Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title.
That's the big thing that I want to talk about. I think what's interesting here is the fact that it's a vacant, guys, because we talked about this the other day. This was Islam Makhachev on his Twitter saying, this Saturday's main event will define what my next move is, but regardless of the outcome, I'm not going to vacate my lightweight title. We might get a real contender there, which implies to me that Islam planned to go back down to defend his lightweight title, right? Because he's also talked about wanting to maybe go back down to fight Ilia at some point, and this kind of seems to me like confirmation of this thing that we've been hearing time and time again, that the UFC does not want, you know, champions to have both belts. And why I think that the Islam Ilia fight will never happen is because, like, what is he going to do? Go up to welterweight? And if he wants to go to lightweight to get that belt, does he have to then vacate the welterweight belt? So what, is he just going to go to each weight class and just leave a vacant belt? It just doesn't make sense. I think the UFC are going to say, listen, it's either one or the other. If you're going to go back to lightweight, you're going to stay. If you want to stay at welterweight, you're going to have to stay now, and that's that. You know, and I got to say, like, to defend Islam, I don't think he necessarily deserved to get his title stripped either. Regardless, something happened down the way where I guess, yeah, he had to vacate his title. Clearly, I assume Islam did not want to do this. I assume this is probably something he had to concede to. And we also have Islam Makhachev's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, explaining, like, why he had to vacate this. So let's see what he had to say.
Why didn't he fight Ilia on International Fight Week and then maybe fight Jack, like, later in the year or something?
Listen.
That's a good question. I actually
if he had to fight Ilia, no problem. He would have fought Ilia. But when Islam go out there and finish Ilia. He was almost 4-1 underdog. That people gonna say he beat a 45-pounder, right? He beat
Which is
Alexander
fair.
Volkanovski 2 times. He beat a 45-pounder. You understand? He have nothing to gain. I beat an Ilia.
It's fair, but I think that there is something to gain and that this is a superstar fight, right? I mean, Khabib and Conor, right? Khabib's, profile, he got even huger because of Conor, right? And he became a superstar of his own. And look, Islam, I'm sure is a popular guy, but this isn't a superstar, right? No one in America, at least, is talking about Islam Makhachev like that. Like, oh, I got to turn on this pay-per-view because Islam is fighting. And he has the actual fighting ability to attract it. He has a very entertaining fighting style. He gets finishes. He's very good. But if you have a guy like Ilia Topuria that, will bring that side out of you, that will bring the promotional material all together. I'm not saying that necessarily Ilia is this superstar draw. What I'm saying is I think the both of them together is a superstar draw.
The UFC was great. I was last night to the office to probably 4 in the morning. Tried to get stuff done. The one thing, Islam will fight this year, regardless if Mandalina injured, not injured, hurt. This is the word that was given to me by Hunter, by Dana, by everybody.
Wow. Okay.
He
So
said Jamal Hill got injured. We vacated him. Islam will fight for a title.
I mean, that's pretty big. That's
and
pretty
this guy's
big.
They word is gold to me.
That is pretty big. Ali is saying that he had a conversation with the UFC where basically he said that Islam has to fight for a title this year. And if Jack is not ready, if Jack is injured, and I mean, this is May, so how much is left of the year? 7 months or so? That they will create a new title that basically and brings up Jamal Hill, when he was injured. I mean, this is just ridiculous to me. I mean, Jack Della Maddalena just became the champion. In 7 months, we've seen longer layoffs in 7 months. I mean, let's not act like we have seen champions. I mean, look at John Jones. You're not going to strip John Jones. If they strip Jack Della Maddalena and not John Jones, I guarantee you guys, Jack Della Maddalena is going to get stripped at the end of the year and John Jones will still be the champion. And somehow there's going to be a justification for this. This is actually like this better not happen. I don't think it'll happen. I think 7 months is enough time. I mean, Jack Della Maddalena does get injured a little bit. Like, he does get injured kind of often, but I also have this tweet from Ilia Topuria saying on June 28th, another dream will come true. I'll be the champion of the lightweight division. Charles, my apology in advance. I'm just fighting for my dreams. It's unfortunate that Makhachev ran away 17-0. Oliveira, we know his problem. He gets hit way too often. And like I said, I'm impressed by the story that apparently Ilia wobbled or hurt Jorge Masvidal when they were training. And yeah, Jorge has a good chin. And that story has stuck with me when talking about Ilia Topuria. My gut feeling, and I'm a big Charles fan. You guys know I've talked about, I have Charles shirts. You guys know I'm a big fan. I'm honestly predicting out cold Ilia Topuria to win the lightweight title. And last but not least, there was an announcement about Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev taking place in Chicago August 16th, and we finally have confirmation, I guess, Khamzat Chimaev can fight in the United States. I honestly am leaning towards Dricus, guys, and I've underrated Khamzat before. I was super impressed with how he finished Robert Whittaker, but I don't know, guys. I think Dricus looks super good. He is strong himself. He has a good ground game. He has a good submission game, and we've seen Khamzat Chimaev when he's outside of that first round. He does not look good. I mean, he doesn't look anywhere near as good as he was. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What was the best fight that was announced? Check out my last video where I talked to Islam Makhachev, in my opinion, doing Bilal Muhammad pretty dirty. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.